Hello, everyone, and welcome to this podcast, A Lovely Observation of Life, where we are simply observing life exactly the way that it is without changing it, more of understanding it. And these episodes provide consciousness, different layers that we are breaking through and having more clarities in all of these layers of consciousness. So thank you for being here, tuning into these episodes and returning. I know that most of you that are listening to this podcast are very much so conscious and aware already. And I feel like many of you have probably gone through some sort of awakening or a deeper understanding. And that's when we break through the consciousness. So we're not just on an autopilot mode, we are actually engaged in life in itself. We are fully present. And that's the beauty of it, because that's when the magic happens. When we are unconscious, life comes at us. And sometimes it can be positive and sometimes negative. But when we are awakening and we have reached a higher understanding and a deepening to ourselves, we all of a sudden start to see the world differently and understand things differently. So make sure to save this episode, share it with someone that needs it, and always like, share, and subscribe. It always helps this channel to grow. I do these videos and these podcasts because I have a channel that's called Dimensions of Love on YouTube. And so I do these episodes with love, and also when we are healing and when we've experienced and gone through this experience, it is important that we all share in the capacity that we are willing to share with others so that we can expand further together. And so I advise you all that are listening, if you feel like you're a healer or could be a counselor to someone or whatever it is, or you're shifting gears in life and doing something different, then I admire you and go for it, whatever it is that you're doing. Because if we can help each other in this way, we are collectively vibrating in a higher frequency. Today's episode, after all this talk, is the mirror of healing. That's what I want to talk about on this summer episode. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like in the summer times, especially in the summer times, it feels like I always have a lot of things to do and attend to. So I never feel like the summers are really vacation for me personally. But I always feel like when I'm doing videos in the summer, I feel rushed and like I'm not going to make it, or will I have enough time? And I really want to devote myself to my audience that are listening and tuning in and really sharing this out with love and out of love for everyone that's listening. And so I feel like the summer times are, you know, kind of, do we have time? Because I also feel the energy of everyone else having different things to do, and I don't want to intrude into that energy. I'm very sensitive to energy, and I can also feel my audience, and I don't want to rush or intervene energetically, not not just physically and all of this. Like, we're talking different dimensions here now, and I hope that you can follow this thread. But I was thinking about the mirror of healing because it's something that comes through very strongly, especially when we are embarking into the journey of healing in itself. And when we start to heal and we are in the process of healing, mirroring starts to happen. And what do I mean by that? Well, as we heal, we often encounter reflections of ourselves in others. So some of these reflections may be beautiful, while others may reveal our wounds. And that can be difficult. That can be difficult. I know when I personally have gone through this journey, I started seeing, when I was young, I really was I want to share my own stories here to have a little understanding. I was a difficult child. I think that my parents didn't raise me in that sense because they were busy in their traumas and wounds, and kind of raised myself, and I'm happy with that. And it might sound tragical, but it's not, because I feel like even if they would try to raise me, it wouldn't go so well for them because I was a very strong child. So I was very difficult and very in my own way. So I could have just imagined if they even try to do it, they will feel like they're failing and it will be just horrible, and their ego will be wounded of not being able to control me in that sense. So I'm very happy the way that life turned out. And I've never felt like I was alone growing up. I always had this connection with the divine, which always kept me secure in some way. I always felt this higher powers protecting me, overseeing my situations. And so when I was younger, my father used to drink a lot and he used to work a lot too. So he wasn't present. And I was away from my mother for a couple of years when I was younger. And so I was very, very alone. I had a big brother, but we were never connected in that sense. And I never thought of it as something difficult that he was drinking, because he never lay his hands on me or just these type of situations, which many have experienced, and I'm very sorry for that. But in my case, it wasn't like that. So I never thought it would be like a wound. And so as I started to heal, I noticed a lot of drunk people. It was very strange. Here I am, thought I was leveling up, clearing out things, raising my frequency and my vibration. And I'm seeing people that are drinking, that are just not in their right minds. And it was so strange to me. Like, I couldn't make the connection because I was still stuck in knowing that I was in a higher vibration, and why was this vibration mirroring back to me? I didn't understand until I realized in my meditation that, oh goodness, this is from my childhood. It affected me. I wasn't affected as I thought consciously, but subconsciously, I was very affected by what had transparent in my childhood. And so I began to heal. And when I saw these energies, I had such a rejection towards them first. Like, I didn't want to see people like this. And I was upset that I felt this part of me that was rejecting these people. And so I kept healing in that. I kept understanding myself deeper until I had compassion for them. And I just recognized them in a deep way, in a deeper level. These were people that were wounded, that were hurt, that this was their way to deal with something that was difficult. And so I had full compassion for it. And the moment that I understood it vibrationally like that is the moment that I stopped seeing them so much as before. Like I could see, like sometimes you see a person that's maybe drunk or maybe that's drinking, but it wasn't intense like it was before. So that was the first thing that I saw about mirroring. And I share my stories because we're supposed to share our experiences. And I really want to, in moving forward in this channel, A Lovely Observation of life, I just want to share a few vulnerable parts of myself, because I want you to know that we're all in this together. We all have our wounds, and as we heal, now we start to become these mirrors for others, especially when we're going through this consciousness and awakening. So it can be very challenging, and we might find ourselves receiving the end of anger, frustration, or hurtful words from others. But it's so important in this situation to remember that these reactions are not about us. It's about their own journey. So difficulties with this is that we might feel, I'm doing all of this work. I'm healing and I'm tuning into my wounds. Why am I supposed to have these people mirroring their own journey towards me? Like I'm already having enough already, a lot on my plate. Am I gonna see your pain too reflected on me? It can be in this situation, it could be so overwhelming. And I'm there with you all because there's some days, because we're all humans, where I felt like this is an injustice. This is not fair for it to be like this. But we have to remember that when we engage in deep healing, we begin to radiate a new energy. This energy can be transformative, not only to ourselves, but also to those around us. So everyone that we see that we are mirroring, we are shining brighter. So when you shine brighter and you clear out your energy, this also attracts shadows of others. And those who are still in their pain and unresolved emotions can react strongly towards you. And you can almost feel targeted in your energy. It can be very difficult. But in spiritual consciousness, we have to recognize that every interaction is an opportunity for growth. So this is what I've learned in this journey, that every opportunity is available for us to grow even more if we can recognize it. So, for an example, when someone lashes out on us, it often reflects, of course, their inner and internal struggles. They might see in us what they wish to heal within themselves. So this is essential for mirroring. Now, I want to talk about my own experience here, especially something that, because family tends to be more closer to you, especially if you are awakening and you are like the black sheep in your family. You're the one that's waking up. You're the one that's changing things in your family. You are shifting gears, and this wakes the shadows within them. Like it is unconsciously, but they will attack at some capacity. And what I've noticed very strongly is I have a big brother, we're not so connected. But he used to always tell me that I just want money. I just care about money. Why am I like that? I'm like basically a gold digger. And I always thought that was very strange that he would say something like that. Because, yeah, of course, everyone likes money. I didn't understand it. And because I could see in different dimensions, I would never share this with him. He never knows. He's never known this in case he would listen to this podcast. But he never knew this, that I saw us in different dimensions. So I could see his soul and what his soul was doing in this dimension. And my soul in that dimension, when we were interacting, I was always satisfied with what I had. Like, it didn't matter if it was much or little. That's how my soul was. My soul was like, it's okay. I'm fine with it. Yeah, it's fine. Very relaxed and joyful, just like how I feel in my soul when I'm centered. And his soul was always, I need to have more. I need to have most things. Why don't I have more? Give me more. I need to have it all. And I could give him in that spiritual world all of everything that I have. And it would still not be enough. And so I always thought, well, it's so strange to see this dimension and not be able to explain it, because you probably think that I'm crazy. And he's an atheist, so there's no chance that I could explain this where it will land kind of perfectly to where he would understand it. So I just brush it off and let it be, and knowing that it's just a reflection of him that he hasn't recognized within himself, that he likes stuff so much, and he's really connecting to wanting money. So in that sense, I started to have compassion within, that it must be difficult believing that you are seeing something in someone else, but it's actually yourself, and you're projecting, and you are hateful or irritated at something that is really within yourself. And so that compassion really makes a difference of tolerating what you might hear or what you might experience. So when we're faced with such a reflection, as in my case, we have always a choice. We can react with defensiveness, or we can choose to respond with compassion. In my cases, I choose to be calm. And even though he might lash out more at me, I still choose to hold the space of being calm and just let it be. Though that part of me that wants to protect myself, wants to say, but hey, I should speak up for myself and set a boundary and say it like this. But you know, it's so flexible. You have to, like, in every situation, you have to look at things. Is it worth it? Is it worth saying these things that might hurt the person? And you might be right in the situation, but in the long run, no one wins. No one is right or wrong. We're just human beings trying our best with everything that we know. And if we knew better, we would do better. And in this case, this human being doesn't know better. That's why he's not doing better. As in my case, if I would not understand something, I would not do it well either. So understanding that is essential. By holding space for ourselves and for them in that moment, we can transform these encounters into opportunities for understanding and healing. So again, opportunities are always presenting themselves. It is us, and it is up to us to choose. Are we going to take this opportunity and let this be something that's fruitful to us so that we can grow? I want to share another story about a chef. I was responsible for the team in the kitchen. And this was recent, in the beginning of this summer, and we were about to end the assignment for that week that we've been working together and with the team. And I was responsible for everything. So I had full control and understanding of what needed to be done or not. And she, as the chef, was in the kitchen. But as I was doing what I was supposed to do, she came up to me and she wanted me to continue cleaning something when I wasn't finished with my obligations that I needed to attend. I needed to finish those before I could leave, because I knew everything that I was connecting to and that I had to do in my assignment of work. But she was pushing it in that way. And so she said, why do you always have an excuse for everything? And for me, honestly, in that moment, it wasn't an excuse. It was a fact. I had obligation that I needed to attend to that wasn't finished, and I could not leave them and start with this, because I am supposed to help cleaning if I finish everything that I need to finish first, and I wasn't. And so I was just kind of listening to her and wondering, okay, I think this is a mirroring happening right now. So I just felt this energy of just this dark cloud entering the space. And I just try to calm down and just invite angel, higher powers to just be present in my words, how I would express myself in this moment. So it was so important to me that I will not lose my focus and get into her energy. And so in that moment, she said, "You're so stubborn." And I just listened to her, and having her just have a go at me in that moment. And so when she was finished, I said, "Well, that was quite unnecessary, don't you think?" And I said that calmly. And just for a second, just of consciousness within her, it felt like she just regretted what she just said. Like, oh my God, it was too much. And I didn't want to push her down on that. I just wanted her to reflect on it, to why she chose to make it like this, because it was something within her. Maybe ending it on bad terms is better than ending it on good terms, because you'll get hurt. So you never know what the person's, subconscious wounds are to why they act and create scenarios like that. So you have to be compassionate. And so that was one fresh, recent story that I can share with you. And I know that you guys also have many of your stories where you can also relate to the difficulties of being a mirror of healing. But let's remember that in this dance of energy, we learn that healing is not linear. It really isn't. It really is a spiral where we might revisit old wounds as we ascend to new level of awareness. So each time we encounter resistance, we have the chance to deepen our understanding of ourselves and others. So in these moments when you're faced with these shadows, whether it is from within yourself or from someone else, to take a deep breath and be present in that moment and see the opportunity for healing. And it might be difficult, really, really, just be kind to yourself in these moments. But remember that you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to heal this part of yourselves. And when we heal within ourselves, this is how we heal the best for the rest of our community, for the world, for our family, for our children, for our grandparents, all of these aspects of the self. So remember that we are all interconnected. Just remember and stay in that. Our healing journeys are intertwined, okay? And as we embrace our own light, we can help illuminate the path of others. When we choose love over fear, we not only heal ourselves, but also create ripples of healing in the world and all around us. So embrace the mirror that comes your way. They're not obstacles, okay? But rather guides leading you to deeper awareness and compassion. So it is all about the perspective that you choose to see the world with. You can form your mind to your own benefit, where it is positive. And When we are young, we receive. When we are older and we are mature, we understand that the joy comes from giving and not receiving anymore, like when we were young. And that indicates growth. So let's create a space where healing thrives. And I hope that you guys liked this episode of a lovely observation of life. So like this episode to help this channel grow. And thank you for tuning in. And I hope to share more of myself and to hear your stories in the comment section of how you have connected with the mirror of healing. So thank you all for being here. As always, have a wonderful day, and I'm sending love your way, everyone. Bye.